Hey, what's up, y'all? How we doing today? Well, honey, if your name is anywhere on the Old Navy marketing payroll, I know you were sweating straight through your blazer this week because the internet woke up, chose violence, and decided that Cardi B, the brand new face of their biggest denim campaign of the year, doesn't even wear the jeans she's being paid to sell. And I'm not talking about one stray comment under a fan page that got 12 likes. I'm talking about a full-blown, coordinated clocking session, thousands of comments deep, people zooming into paparazzi shots like they're forensic analysts on a crime documentary, all chanting the same exact thing: she don't wear Old Navy. She has never worn Old Navy, and this whole campaign is nothing but a paycheck and a photo op. Now normally, a celebrity lets that kind of talk die a quiet death in the algorithm. They post the caption, they cash the check, they keep it moving, and everybody forgets by Tuesday. But she is not a normal celebrity, and she reminded everybody of that fact in real time because instead of letting the rumor marinate, she pulled up to the Old Navy Most Wanted launch party, hopped on live from inside the actual event, looked dead into the camera, and addressed every single syllable of it. And baby, when I tell you she did not come to play, she came with receipts, she came with a promise, and she came with a body confession that accidentally exposed how the entire designer fashion industry has been failing millions of women for decades. So let's walk through all of it because there is a lot on this table: the jeans, the BBL honesty, the promise to go live inside an actual Old Navy store and try on denim in front of the whole world, the not-so-subtle message to a certain somebody's outside situations, and a history-making announcement that got completely buried under the denim discourse. Yeah, Cardi B made history while the timeline was busy arguing about pants. We are absolutely getting to that. But listen, before y'all start stretching your fingers for the comment section, because I already know half of y'all came in here loaded up, ready to defend her like family or drag her like an enemy, just sit with the evidence first. Not a screenshot of a screenshot. Not your cousin's group chat interpretation. Her actual words from her actual mouth on her actual live stream. Then you can tell me who, what, when, and how. Deal? Alright, so here's what lit the match. Cardi B gets announced as the face of Old Navy's new campaign. Big rollout, big money, big visuals. And almost immediately, the clocking brigade assembled. The theory went like this: Cardi B is a luxury girl. Cardi B is a Birkin girl. Cardi B is a Couture Week front row girl. So what business does she have telling everyday women to go buy $30 jeans? People started pulling up her old fits, circling designer labels like they were building a court case, saying, look, she's in head-to-toe designer every time she's photographed, so why is she suddenly the ambassador of the people's denim? The implication being, of course, that she's a fraud, that the campaign is fake, that she'd never be caught dead in an Old Navy dressing room unless there was a camera crew and a wire transfer involved. And you know what? On the surface, I get why that argument sounds tasty. Celebrity endorsements are fake all the time. We've watched it happen 1,000 times. A star signs a deal, poses with the product once, and then never touches it again unless the contract forces them to. So the audience has been trained to be suspicious, and honestly, that suspicion is usually justified. Usually. But here's where the story takes a hard left turn, because Cardi B didn't respond with a PR statement typed up by some crisis manager in a glass office. Cardi B responded the way only Cardi B knows how: raw, unfiltered, slightly chaotic, and weirdly educational. Because there she is, live from the Old Navy Most Wanted launch party, music bumping behind her, and she decides to address the clocking head-on. And what does Cardi B say? She says the reason she gravitates toward Old Navy, toward Target denim, toward Fashion Nova and Gap, isn't branding and isn't a check, it's her body. Direct quote energy: she cannot wear most of the high-end designer jeans. They are not built for her. She said the only big luxury house whose denim sometimes cooperates with her shape is Acne Studios. Everything else? Doesn't fit. Doesn't even come close. And then she broke it down in the most Cardi B way possible. She said, look at my proportions. I'm 5'3". I'm skinny. I've got no waist. And my hips, her words, not mine, are the size of Uganda. She said they simply do not manufacture designer jeans for a body shaped like hers. But Old Navy does. Gap does. Fashion Nova does. And she said it with her whole chest, on camera, at the launch party, while wearing the clothes. Now hold on, because I need y'all to understand what she just did there, whether she meant to or not. Cardi B just confirmed something that women with BBLs and women with naturally curvy proportions have been screaming into the void for years. The luxury fashion pipeline is not built for their bodies. The sample sizes are cut for one silhouette, the runway proportions assume one frame, and if your hips and your waist exist in a ratio that the pattern makers never planned for, you can have all the money in the world and still not be able to pull a pair of $1,000 jeans past your thighs. That's not a style problem. That's an engineering problem. And Cardi B, standing in the middle of an Old Navy event, explained the entire economics of her closet in under a minute. She wears the mall brands because the mall brands are the ones making clothes for her actual body. Period. But she didn't stop at the explanation, oh no. Cardi B made a promise, and I need everybody to hold her to it, because she said, and I'm paraphrasing the energy exactly, watch. I'm going to go live one day, and I'm going to physically go to an Old Navy store, and I'm going to try on the jeans in front of everybody, so y'all can see with your own two eyes that I really wear this. Now that is how you answer a clocking. Not with a Notes app apology, not with a trademarked slogan, but with a field trip. She volunteered to turn a fitting room into a courtroom exhibit. And honestly, if Cardi B actually does that live, it might be the single most effective piece of brand marketing Old Navy has ever gotten, because you cannot buy that kind of authenticity. You could not script a woman defending her denim with the passion of a closing argument. And then Cardi B took it somewhere deeper, and this is the part that a lot of the blogs skipped right past, which tells me they only watched the first 30 seconds. She started talking about being a mother. She said, I'm a mom, I go to my kids' events, and I'm already different from the other parents just by existing. She's already the most famous person in the school parking lot before she says one word. So she deliberately covers up. She doesn't wear the super tight stuff to her children's events because she doesn't want her body to become the headline at her own kid's recital. She said the other parents are already shook when she walks in, already staring, already whispering, and she refuses to do that to her children. She refuses to pull extra attention onto a day that's supposed to belong to them. And she pointed out correctly that there are pictures of her dressed exactly like this. Casual. Covered up. Mom mode. The photos exist. The receipts are sitting in plain sight on the internet that raised the accusation in the first place. So let's tally this up. The claim was, Cardi B doesn't wear Old Navy. Her answer was a three-layer defense, the fit explanation, the promise of a live try-on, and the photographic evidence of her everyday mom wardrobe. That's not a deflection. That's a rebuttal with exhibits. And here's the part that makes the clockers look silly. The entire accusation was built on the idea that a rich woman wearing affordable clothes must be lying. But if you actually listen to what Cardi B said, the truth is the exact opposite of the rumor. She doesn't wear Old Navy despite being rich. She wears it because her body, the same body the culture obsessed over, the same body that helped make her famous, literally does not fit into the luxury alternative. The bag is real. The Birkins are real. And apparently, so are the $30 jeans. Let that marinate. Now, is there a conversation to be had about whether a sponsored celebrity is ever fully trustworthy? Sure. Healthy skepticism is a vitamin. But there's a difference between skepticism and refusing to update your opinion when the person shows up with a logically coherent, personally embarrassing, publicly verifiable answer. Because make no mistake, it is not easy for a woman at Cardi B's level to stand on a live stream and say the designer brands don't fit my hips. In an industry where admitting you shop at the mall has historically been treated like a confession, she just turned it into a flex. And whether you love her or can't stand her, you have to admit, that takes a specific kind of confidence that most of these image-managed celebrities simply do not possess. And since we're here, let's go ahead and have the bigger conversation that this whole denim scandal accidentally cracked open, because I don't think people realize how significant this moment actually is. For years, the BBL era has been treated like a punchline or a morality play depending on who you ask, but almost nobody in the mainstream fashion conversation has stopped to ask the practical question, where are all these women supposed to buy clothes? Think about it. You have an entire generation of women whose silhouettes changed surgically or naturally. Doesn't matter for this conversation, and the luxury houses kept cutting patterns like it was still 2003. The runways kept pushing one body. The sample sales kept serving one body. And the women with the exaggerated proportions, the tiny waist, and the Uganda-sized hips, to borrow her phrase, were left to figure it out in the exact same stores everybody else shops at. The mall. The outlets. The fast fashion sites. Old Navy, Gap, Fashion Nova, Target. So when the clocking brigade tried to frame Cardi B wearing affordable denim as some kind of gotcha, what they actually did was expose their own disconnect from reality. Because the truth is, millions of women looked at that live stream and felt seen. Not marketed to, seen. There were comments from women saying, finally, somebody at her level admitting that the designer stuff simply does not come in our shape. Comments from women saying they felt invisible in luxury stores their whole lives. Comments from mothers saying they understood exactly what she meant about covering up at school events, about not wanting to be a spectacle at their kids' moment. That's the part the fashion vlogs missed entirely while they were busy counting her Birkins. The woman turned a hit piece into a bonding moment with her actual customer base, and she did it without a single publicist-crafted sentence. Every word of it sounded like her because every word of it was her. And can we talk about the marketing genius of the whole thing for a second, whether intentional or not? Old Navy didn't just get a spokeswoman. They got a woman willing to say, on the record, on camera, unprompted, that their jeans fit her when the $1,000 designer pairs do not. Do you understand what that statement is worth to a brand? That is the kind of endorsement money literally cannot buy, because its entire power comes from the fact that it doesn't sound like an endorsement. It sounds like a complaint about the competition. It sounds like a friend telling you where to shop. And when she doubles down and says she's going to go live inside a store and prove it in the fitting room, honey, that's not a celebrity endorsement anymore. That's a series. That's an event. That's a piece of internet history waiting to happen, and every single person who doubted her is going to tune in to watch her be right. The clockers didn't kill the campaign. They gave it a second life, a narrative arc, and a built-in finale episode. If her team is smart, they're already clearing the schedule for Fitting Room Day, because the views on that stream are going to be astronomical. And let's not act brand new about who Cardi B is as a businesswoman, because this is not her first rodeo with the people's brands, and the receipts go back years. This is the same woman whose Fashion Nova collections didn't just sell, they evaporated. Gone within hours, every single drop, crashed the website numbers over and over again. This is the same woman who had a Reebok partnership, a Pepsi Super Bowl commercial, a McDonald's celebrity meal, her own Whip Shots line sitting in liquor stores across the country. Her entire endorsement portfolio has one thing in common. Every single product she attaches her name to is something she plausibly, visibly, actually uses. That's the brand. Her business model has never been aspirational, untouchable luxury goddess. It's been the girl from the Bronx who got rich and never learned how to act like it. She'll wear couture to the Met Gala on Monday and hype a drugstore find on Tuesday, and both moments feel equally real, because both of them are equally real. That's what the clockers fundamentally don't understand about the assignment Old Navy handed her. They didn't hire Cardi B despite her accessibility. They hired her because of it. Her audience and Old Navy's customer base are practically a perfect circle on the Venn diagram: young, diverse, family-focused, style-obsessed, and price-aware. The Most Wanted denim campaign needed somebody who could make $30 jeans feel aspirational without making the shopper feel condescended to. And there is exactly one woman in music who can stand inside an Old Navy and make it feel like Fashion Week while simultaneously convincing you she'd be there on her off day too. Any other superstar in that campaign is a costume. With her, it's a testimonial. And to the cynics saying, well, she's paid to say all that, baby, paid spokespeople don't talk like this. Paid spokespeople read the talking points, smile, and log off. They do not voluntarily stand on a live stream and announce their exact height, their waist situation, and the geographic scale of their hips. They do not promise to go try on jeans in a public fitting room where the whole internet can grade the fit. Unscripted specificity is the tell of truth. Nobody's publicist wrote, "My hips is the size of Uganda." That's not a talking point. That's a woman who has personally lost battles with designer zippers and lived to tell about it. The whole endorsement auditing culture that the internet loves so much, the zoom-ins, the label checking, the authenticity police, this is actually what it looks like when the audit comes back clean. She didn't just say she wears it. She explained the mechanics of why she wears it, cited the one luxury house that accommodates her shape, named every affordable store in her rotation, and offered to demonstrate it live. That's not a spokesperson surviving a scandal. That's a star turning a scandal into a season finale. Now, we have to pivot, because the denim defense was only half of what happened on that live, and the second half is where the temperature in the room changed. Because while Cardi B was at the Old Navy launch party dancing, rapping her own music, clearly in her element, she started talking about her new record, and she let something slip that set the whole timeline on fire. She said she isn't worried about none of these men. None of them. Except one. Except one. Now y'all already know the internet heard that and immediately opened up the investigation board with the red string. Because the name everybody's been attaching to Cardi B lately is Stefan Diggs, and the two of them have been giving very much something is happening here energy for a while now. And a whole lot of people heard, except one, and immediately concluded that things between her and Stefan Diggs are getting serious. Like, serious. Like, she just told on herself on a live stream serious. And here's where I have to be the responsible one at the table, because I can already hear the keyboards warming up. A lot of folks are not exactly thrilled about this pairing, and their concern is not coming from nowhere. Let's just lay the file out on the table. Cardi B's romantic history has been, to put it gently, eventful. The whole Offset era was a roller coaster that the entire culture rode along with her. The highs, the very public lows, the back and forth, the breakups, the reconciliations, the whole saga played out in front of millions. And before anyone gets it twisted, that history is not an indictment of her. If anything, it's evidence of how much grace she extended and how many times she tried to make something work while the whole world watched and graded her on it. But the concerned trolls and some genuine fans are looking at Stefan Diggs and seeing a file with its own thick stack of papers. Because Stefan has been dealing with his own public mess, including a situation where his baby's mother came out with some extremely serious allegations. And I want to be precise here, because precision matters. These are allegations. She claimed he put her and the child out, and she alleged that he put his hands on her. Those are heavy claims, and they deserve to be treated with the weight that heavy claims carry. Nothing has been adjudicated in a court of law as of this recording, and everybody is entitled to their day in court. But you cannot ask the public to unhear what it has heard. And so when Cardi B says, except one, a significant chunk of her fan base is not hearing romance. They're hearing risk. And I get it. I do. When you've watched a woman survive one very public, very painful relationship saga, the protective instinct kicks in. People feel invested in her happiness because she has never hidden her humanity from them. She cried with them. She vented to them. She let them into the messy middle of her life when most celebrities would have hired a wall of publicists. So now the same audience that celebrated her wins is looking at this new chapter and doing the math out loud. They're connecting dots like a kindergarten worksheet, and the picture those dots are forming has some people nervous. But here's my honest read, and y'all can fight me in the comments if you need to. Cardi B is a grown woman. A grown, rich, self-made, history-making woman. She did not ask the timeline to co-sign her love life, and if we're being real, the timeline's batting average on relationship advice is not exactly Hall of Fame material. She said she's not worried about these men except one, and maybe the most radical thing we can do is take her at her word and let her live. She's earned that much. The woman has survived things that would have ended lesser careers, and she is still standing at the top of her game, still getting plaques, still getting brand deals, still selling. At some point, concern has to bow to the reality that Cardi B has always known exactly what she was doing, even when the rest of us were screaming at the screen. Now, does that mean the Stefan Diggs allegations don't matter? Absolutely not. They matter tremendously, and if the claims are true, there should be accountability. Full stop. But accountability is the court's job, and her heart is not a courtroom. So let's keep those two things in their separate lanes and stop trying to merge the traffic. What I will say is this: watch this space. Because if things between Cardi B and Stefan Diggs really are getting serious, the spotlight on that man's entire file is only going to get brighter, and everything unresolved will eventually demand a resolution. That's not a threat. That's just how fame works. The light always finds the file. Now, let's get to the part of that live that I personally found the most fascinating, because she finally explained the DNA of her new record, the one everybody's been calling the Get Back anthem, and the story behind it is so much pettier and so much smarter than anyone realized. She said the idea came to her while she was on tour, listening to the beat. And she described the emotion that built the song. She kept watching certain females move funny toward her, trying her, subbing her, acting brand new, all because they had been messing with her baby daddy, or thought they had one up on her because of who they had access to. And she described sitting there looking at the whole circus like, "You're mad at me? Over a man I used to have? A man I already had, already experienced, already moved on from?" She said the part that actually deserved outrage was the scoreboard, the fact that she's winning. That's what should be making people sick, not the hand-me-down. And from that exact feeling, the record was born. And then she laid out the philosophy, and I need every single person watching this to write this part down, because this is a free masterclass in winning. Cardi B said her get back isn't a person. Her get back is the watch. Her get back is the new crib, which, sidebar, she revealed is coming real soon. Her get back is her thriving. She said it plain. Thrive through the pain. Cry about it for 3 days if you need to, then get back. Get back to yourself. Get back sexy. Get back to the bag. She reframed revenge from something you do to somebody into something you build for yourself. And she punctuated the whole sermon by reminding everybody exactly who shares her world now, her 4 diamonds and her 4 kids. 4 diamonds. 4 kids. And here's the thing, that wasn't just a cute line for the live. That was a flex rooted in a fact that somehow got completely steamrolled by the denim drama, so let me make sure it gets its proper respect. Cardi B has officially become the first female rapper in United States history to have 4 diamond certified singles. The first in history. For records that each moved a minimum of 10 million units in sales and streams. The 4 believed to be holding those plaques: Bodak Yellow, the record that kicked the door off its hinges and introduced her to the world. I Like It with Bad Bunny, Girls Like You with Maroon 5, and WAP with Megan Thee Stallion. A murderer's row of records that didn't just chart, they owned entire summers. And y'all, the context makes it even crazier. She was already the first female rapper to ever earn a diamond certification when Bodak Yellow crossed that threshold. Then she became the first female rapper with multiple diamond records. Now the tally sits at 4, and she stands alone as one of the most certified female rappers to ever touch a microphone. Not one of the most certified of the moment. Of all time. And she dropped that information casually, in between answering questions about jeans and joking about going out to eat with her team. That's the thing about her that the critics will never understand. Her historic moments arrive wearing sweatpants. The woman doesn't schedule her greatness. It just leaks out of her. Meanwhile, while all of this was happening, the internet was also busy obsessing over her love life's geography, because, of course, the first date discourse refuses to die. Venice, Italy has entered the chat, and everybody has an opinion about who's courting who on a gondola. And honestly, I refuse to have a strong take. Their alleged date is in Venice. I have never been to Venice. I'm sitting here like the rest of you, watching a grown, wealthy, history-making woman possibly get swept off her feet in one of the most romantic cities on the planet, and all I can hear is ocean breeze and balcony laughter. She's grown. She's single. She's thriving. If she wants to have fun in Italy while her records go diamond and her denim sells out, that is not a scandal. That's the plot of a movie most people would pay to watch. And while we're on the subject of the get back philosophy, let me say this plainly, because I think it deserves more than a passing mention. What she described on that live is a complete inversion of how breakup narratives usually go for women in the public eye. The old script says the woman is supposed to be devastated. She's supposed to spiral publicly, or disappear, or post cryptic quotes until the culture moves on. And the women who circle the X afterward are supposed to feel like they won something, like access to the man was the prize and the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend was the loser of the raffle. She looked at that entire framework and laughed at it. Her position was essentially, you think you took something from me, but you picked up something I put down, and meanwhile I'm standing on a mountain you can't even see from where you're standing. That's not just pettiness, and let's be honest, it is a little petty, gloriously so. It's a reframing of power. The scoreboard isn't who has the man. The scoreboard is who has the life. And by every measurable metric, she has the life. That's why this record is going to resonate the way it's going to resonate. Because every woman listening has a version of this story. Everybody has watched someone move funny over a situation that was already dead. Everybody has had that moment where they realized the person celebrating their supposed loss was standing in a victory that didn't actually exist. And she bottled that exact emotion and put a beat under it. The get back isn't him regretting it. The get back is the watch. The get back is the new crib coming soon. The get back is thriving so loudly that the noise reaches people you blocked 2 years ago. That's the anthem. That's the sermon. Cry about it, take your 3 days, and then get back to yourself. Get back sexy. Get back to the bag. I genuinely believe therapists are going to be quoting a rap live stream by the end of the year, and honestly, deserved. And notice how she wove the 4 kids into the 4 diamonds. That wasn't an accident either. That was a woman telling you exactly where her treasure actually lives. The plaques are beautiful, the history is beautiful, the records are beautiful, but the chain on her neck tells the real story. 4 diamonds for the records the world can measure. 4 kids for the legacy the world can't. That's the kind of detail that separates a rapper having a moment from an artist building a mythology. Every element of the image means something. Even the jewelry is narrating. And let me say one more thing about the Venice of it all, because I think the way people discuss this woman's love life reveals something ugly about how we treat successful women in general. When a man at her level dates, travels, and enjoys himself, the culture calls it living. When she does the exact same thing, suddenly it's an investigation. Suddenly everybody's a relationship analyst. Suddenly her track record is on trial, as if the track record of the men involved gets even a fraction of the same scrutiny. Where was this energy auditing the romantic files of the men she dated? Where was the think peace brigade then? The double standard is so loud it's practically wearing a megaphone, and I need people to sit with that. She is grown. She is wealthy beyond anything the comment section can imagine. She is the most diamond-certified female rapper in the history of American music. And if she wants to eat pasta on a balcony in Italy with whoever makes her smile this month, the timeline's job is to mind the business that pays them. Because here's the reality that the concerned brigade keeps missing. This woman has already survived the worst version of the public relationship cycle. She has already been through the fire in high definition, with millions watching and commenting and choosing sides. And she came out the other side with her career intact, her kids thriving, her bag untouched, and her sense of humor fully operational. Whatever happens next in her love life, with the wide receiver or anyone else, she is walking into it with her eyes open and her empire secured. That's not naivety. That's a veteran moving like a veteran. And the people who love her should take comfort in that instead of refreshing the blogs looking for a disaster to prevent. You cannot protect a grown woman from her own choices, and honestly, she's earned the right to make them in peace. And that, to me, is the real thread connecting everything that happened this week. The jeans, the live, the body confession, the not worried except one line, the Get Back anthem origin story, the 4 diamonds, the Venice whispers. All of it points to the exact same picture, a woman who is completely, almost aggressively, herself, in an industry that spends millions of dollars manufacturing the opposite. They tried to clock her authenticity and ended up proving it. They tried to shrink her to a sponsorship and she responded with a documentary. Every attack keeps converting into material, and every piece of material keeps converting into history. At this point, the pattern is undeniable. Come for her, and you become a verse, a headline, or a plaque. Sometimes all three. And here's what ties the entire week together into one picture, because I don't want y'all walking away thinking this was just a celebrity clapping back at a few haters. What happened on that live stream was a case study in modern star power, the kind that cannot be manufactured by a label, cannot be purchased by a brand, and cannot be taught in a marketing seminar. Think about everything she touched in one casual evening: a denim controversy, a body positivity conversation that reached millions of women who never hear themselves represented, a co-parenting philosophy, a soft relationship reveal. The origin story of a record, a jewelry flex with a family meaning behind it, and a historic industry milestone. Any single one of those would have been a full news cycle for a lesser celebrity. For her, it was a Tuesday. That's the difference between being famous and being a force. And it explains something else, too, why brands keep lining up even though the discourse around her never stops. Executives are not blind. They see what the comment section refuses to admit. Controversy follows her, but conversion follows her harder. Every time the internet tries to check her authenticity, she answers with something so specific and so human that the check bounces. Every time the blogs predict she's finally overextended, too messy, too honest, too unfiltered for the family brands, a family brand renews her. The risk assessment on paper says danger. The actual results say loyalty, sales, and sold-out drops. At some point, the industry had to accept that her unfiltered quality is not a bug in the product. It is the product. The same mouth that gets her trending for the wrong reasons on Monday is the mouth that sells out a collection on Wednesday, and the executives who figured that out early are the ones smiling in the quarterly meetings. So when people ask why she keeps winning while staying this raw, the answer is sitting right there in the 4 diamonds on that chain. The culture didn't crown a polished, focus-grouped, media-trained product. It crowned a woman who never once pretended the fitting rooms of America were beneath her, because they never were. They were always hers. She just finally made the rest of the world see it. And let me leave you with this thought, because it applies way beyond music and way beyond denim. There is a lesson in watching somebody get accused of being fake and respond not with anger, not with a takedown, but with evidence, humor, and a fitting room invitation. Most people, when the crowd turns on them, either hide or swing wildly. She did neither. She stood in the middle of the storm, at the very event the crowd said she didn't deserve to attend, and calmly explained her life, her body, her kids, her shopping habits, her heart, her records, her plaques. No notes app. No tears. No, I would like to address the allegations, energy. Just a woman so comfortable in her own truth that the truth itself became the entertainment. That's rare air. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't come from a stylist or a publicist or a label head. It comes from knowing exactly who you are and refusing to shrink when the world demands a smaller version of you. And whether you came here as a fan, a critic, or just somebody who clicked for the denim drama, that's the thing worth taking home tonight. So let's zoom all the way out and look at what we actually witnessed this week. The internet came at Cardi B with an accusation about authenticity, said she was a fake ambassador wearing a costume for a check. And her response was to show up at the brand's own party, explain the economics of her body, promise to try on jeans in a store on live, defend her choices as a mother, soft launch whatever is happening in her love life, explain the emotional blueprint of her next anthem, and remind everybody that she's standing on 4 diamond plaques all in one evening. That's not damage control. That's a clinic. The clockers wanted to expose her. Instead, they exposed how little they understood her. Because the Cardi B story has never been about fitting into anything, not the designer jeans, not the industry mold, not the timeline's expectations of who she should love or how she should dress at a school event. The entire brand is a woman who couldn't fit the pattern, so she became her own pattern. And now the affordable jeans girl from the Bronx is the most diamond-certified female rapper in history, fronting the people's denim, promising to pull up to a strip mall and model the fit on live. You genuinely cannot write it better than that. Now I want to hear from y'all, because the comments are about to be a battlefield, and I have my popcorn ready. Number 1. Did Cardi B's BBL and body explanation actually kill the Old Navy backlash? Or do you still think the campaign is all check and no closet? Number 2. When she said she's not worried about any of these men except one, are you rooting for her and Stefan Diggs? Or does that file have too many papers in it for your comfort? And number 3. Out of the 4 diamond records, Bodak Yellow, I Like It, Girls Like You, WAP, which one is her record? The one that defines her? Defend your answer like your life depends on it, because I will be down there reading. And if Cardi B actually goes live from inside an Old Navy fitting room like she promised, you already know I'm covering it second by second, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Because that live is going to break the internet, and this channel is going to break it all the way down. Y'all let me know what you think. I'll talk to you later. Bye.